There are moments in royal history when everything changes in just 1 second. When a title, a name, or a crown isn't just a symbol anymore, but the difference between having power and having nothing. And according to rumors going around the palace hallways, that moment has finally come for Meghan Markle. Insiders say the message has been sent quietly but clearly. The title of Duchess that she built her whole public image on is slipping away, and this time it's not coming back. Sources claim Meghan never thought there'd be a day when she'd lose the name that opened doors, got her on magazine covers, and kept cameras focused on her. But the palace, under new and strong leadership, has made it clear the time of borrowed royalty is over. Meghan is said to be heartbroken, shocked that the title she held onto tighter than any royal before her might soon be gone forever. And as this reality sinks in, a bigger storm is coming. Because this decision isn't just about her. It's part of a massive royal shakeup led by the one man she can't influence, can't charm, and can't manipulate. His name is Prince William. And this is where our story starts. Prince William has stepped into a role no heir has taken in generations. Insiders say he's started the process to take away royal titles from those who have hurt the crown's reputation. And at the top of that list are Harry and Meghan. According to palace sources, William sees this move not as punishment, but as protection. The monarchy, already hurt by scandals and betrayal, can't survive if its titles are used as weapons, brands, or marketing tools. The order sources claim is not just for show. It's real paperwork, real signatures, and real consequences. This means Harry would no longer be a prince, no longer a duke, no longer an earl. He would simply become Henry Charles Albert David Mountbatten Windsor. Meghan, stripped of borrowed prestige, would be known only as Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor, a name that erases the image she spent years building. For Meghan, this is a nightmare she feared more than bad press, failed projects, or fading headlines. Without the title, she's no longer royal. Without the title, she's no longer special. And for the palace, that's exactly the point. William, according to those closest to him, has decided the monarchy needs to be cleaned, restored, and rebuilt, and that can't happen while those who walked away still make money from the name they left behind. William's determination comes with a shocking edge. He's willing to sacrifice even his own family to save the crown. Sources say he's accepted that his younger children, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, may one day live without titles until they choose to serve as working royals. This isn't anger. This is strategy. William believes a title must be earned, protected, and honored, not traded, sold, or used for fame. This mindset shows the real difference between the brothers. Harry held on to titles while rejecting responsibility. William takes on responsibility, even if it means giving up titles. The contrast couldn't be more obvious. Insiders say William has grown tired of scandals, tired of excuses, and tired of watching the institution his mother once carried with grace get dragged through chaos. The message is clear. The monarchy will not bend for Harry and Meghan. It will not soften. It will not wait. William has stepped forward as the future king, and a future king can't hesitate. But to understand why William made his move now, we need to look at the spark that started the fire. The exploding scandals surrounding the York family. According to insider reports, shocking revelations involving Prince Andrew have come back up, including alleged lies about his connection to Virginia Roberts, financial ties to Jeffrey Epstein, and claims that police resources were used to attack accusers. Then comes Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, whose spending, dependence, and alleged acceptance of millions raised red flags within the palace. Some insiders believe the real amount goes far beyond what the public has heard. The monarchy, already stressed, could no longer protect these scandals without falling apart under the weight of public disgust. This was the turning point. Sources say William realized that if the monarchy kept protecting those who abused their status, it would lose all credibility. And once the Yorks came under scrutiny, the Sussexes, already seen as disloyal, divisive, and self-serving, were next. The cleanup had started. To understand Meghan's panic, we need to understand her dependence. Sources say Meghan spent less than 2 years as an active member of the royal family. Yet, she built her entire public identity around that short time. She repeated the same stories, the same complaints, the same claims, because without the royal connection, there was nothing else to talk about. Insiders remember that during her pregnancy, Meghan rejected royal doctors, refused traditional protocols, and fueled doubts that now come back up in whispers. Whispers about scans, secrecy, and a need to verify what couldn't be confirmed. Whether true or exaggerated, these doubts became part of the palace's growing discomfort. Control was slipping, stories were being manipulated, and the crown was being used as a stage prop. Then comes the most telling twist. Sources claim Meghan tried to trademark Duchess of Sussex and even changed her legal last name to Duchess of Sussex, not as a title, but as a last name. This was seen by the palace as the final insult, turning royalty into branding. That was when William reportedly stepped in. According to insiders, he told Harry that nothing belonging to their mother, Princess Diana, no jewelry, no symbolism, no memory, was to be associated with Meghan again. Word from royal circles says Meghan stopped wearing the watch she claimed was Diana's after that moment. To Meghan, this was more than a request. It was a reminder she was never Diana. She was never royal by right, and the title she held onto could disappear with a single declaration. While Meghan struggled with the thought of losing her Duchess identity, Harry faced a different fear: the terror of becoming ordinary. Sources close to palace circles say that once the titles are removed, Harry will no longer be known as Prince Harry, nor the Duke of Sussex, nor the Earl of Dumbarton. His full name would go back to what it was before titles ever touched him: Henry Charles Albert David Mountbatten Windsor. For most people, a name is just a name. But for Harry, this is the undoing of a lifetime. He was born a prince, raised a prince, and treated as a prince. Even when he rebelled, the title was his shield, his identity, his excuse, and his escape. Without it, he's simply a man with no military role, no royal duty, no profession, and no place in the institution he abandoned. Insiders say Harry has sensed this coming, which is why he's moved closer to King Charles in recent months. Word from palace observers suggests that Harry believes Charles will protect him, soften the blow, and delay the decision. But William is not Charles. William has already shut the door, locked it, and bolted it from the inside. The brothers, who once walked behind their mother's coffin, now walk on opposite sides of a collapsing bridge. And Harry, for the first time in his life, has no way to cross back. If losing her own title shook Meghan, losing her children's titles destroyed her completely. Sources claim Meghan built her future on the belief that Archie and Lilibet would grow up as a prince and princess, symbols of heritage, status, and importance. She imagined their names opening doors, commanding attention, and securing a legacy she could never achieve on her own. But insiders say William's reforms will reach even further. Archie would no longer be a prince. Lilibet would no longer be a princess. Their names would be rewritten as ordinary children of ordinary parents, children who live outside the monarchy, outside the lineage, and outside the succession. Word from royal watchers suggests that Meghan took this as a personal erasure, not only of her children, but of herself. Without royal children, she's not a royal mother. Without a royal family, she's just another celebrity wife. And the palace, according to sources, knows this is her deepest fear. Meanwhile, the contrast is striking. William's own children are expected to thrive regardless of titles. Charlotte and Louis, sources say, will grow up confident, secure, and whole. Because William believes identity comes from character, not status. For Meghan, identity comes from status, and without it, she has nothing to stand on. There are turning points in history that arrive without ceremony, not with trumpets, but with the closing of a door. And according to palace insiders, that moment has come. Prince William now stands as the force, shaping the monarchy's future, cutting away the damaged branches so the crown can survive. The York scandals exposed the weakness. Parliament's warnings added the pressure. Meghan's obsession with titles lit the fuse. Harry's abandonment fed the flames. And now the titles that once defined them are slipping away like smoke from a dying candle. Sources describe Meghan pacing, calling, pleading, realizing the name she built her world on is being erased. Harry remains silent, aware that nothing He says we'll change what's coming. And William, calm and steady, moves forward without hesitation. The announcement could come quietly. It could come suddenly. It could come tomorrow. But one thing is certain. Once the titles fall, the illusion falls with them. The world will see who stood for the crown and who only stood in its shadow. And as the storm gathers over the monarchy, there's a final chilling truth whispered among those who know the system best. This is only the beginning.